Chancellor Jeremy Hunt has excitedly taken to X, formerly known as Twitter, to tell us all this. The OBR say that the net impact of my recent fiscal events, including the NI cuts, are to get the equivalent of 250,000 more people into work and increase growth by 0.7% of GDP. Well, imagine the shock for the Chancellor when someone tells him that the same report also says this. We continue to expect that Brexit will reduce the UK's potential GDP by 4% in the long run by lowering the trade intensity of the economy. That's right, whilst the Chancellor takes to X to ecstatically tell us the OBR, that's the Office for Budget Responsibility, say the net impact of his recent fiscal events will increase growth by 0.7% of GDP. The OBR are saying in the same report that the hard Brexit his government has inflicted on the country will reduce the UK's potential GDP by 4% in the long run by lowering the trade intensity of the economy. The OBR's analysis chimes with that of the Bank of England by showing that a long-term squeeze on the country's economic potential from Brexit is playing out as they had feared. The OBR has highlighted that trade volumes in the UK have not recovered from the pandemic by as much as the G7 economies. UK trade intensity, exports plus imports as a share of GDP, was 1.7% below pre-pandemic levels by the third quarter of 2023, compared to 1.7% above pre-COVID levels in the rest of the G7. The OBR noted that growth in UK goods trade is well below other advanced economies and 10% down on 2019 levels at the end of last year, likely due to Brexit trade barriers on goods. Remember, the Conservative government is likely the first in history to negotiate a trade deal which actually involved walling itself off from a trading bloc made up of its nearest neighbours, making it harder both to sell your stuff and buy their stuff. Why are UK news shows not pointing all this out?